Are you flexing that you're old?
Yeah, exactly. What can you think of anything you've done for 10 years
10
consistently?
years. Be alive 3 times.
Oh, that's good. How do you feel as you enter your 30s?
Yes.
Were you 31?
For the 5th time, yes. No, I'm 33. I'll be 34 later this year. It's just strange, noticing one observable thing as I'm getting older is that choices will be made with or without you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, sure.
Like your destiny will either be designed or undesigned. Better to arrive at a designed destiny than one where choices were made for you, and then you just have to live.
Yeah, you're talking like a timeshare, right?
Sure.
No, I mean, well, that's...
Fuck up.
Wow, you're really embellishing your pregnant pauses, John.
Well, it's the age-old question: predetermined destiny, versus, which is the same thing, predeterminism versus free will. And I mean, in antiquity, people have debated this and thought about it. Basically, when man first started thinking, "Who am I?" we started wondering, what the fuck? Who controls all this shit? Do I control this shit? Does anything I do matter? Look how big the fucking universe is, or even the world at that time. And so I think that's a question we've struggled with for a long time. That was a little bit long. I think you have to keep it to a second, maybe at most, maybe a half a second. But I think, Alan, right? Antiquity says we've been asking.
Yeah.
You just like you're holding in a hit.
Yeah.
I did not inhale. I'm an exhale.
I ghosted that shit.
So anyway, what do you think you can affect it at all, or do you just think we're along on the fucking wild? We're like a twig.
You can try to push the boulder up the hill, but it's still gonna push you back down.
Like your
Like my what?
Sisyphus.
Sisyphus?
Yeah.
I also read that book.
Sisyphus.
I also read that.
Did you read? Okay, that sounds like it's just a wet pussy.
No, that's Sisyphus.
What, you mean this?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh no, stop. That's so horrible. Need a palate cleanser after that. Predeterminism.
Yes.
So you're saying yes? You don't think we have any control over anything?
I think it's a mixture of the two.
That's what I say.
Mm-hmm. I think
Case closed.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in to Potential Problems Podcast.
No need to talk about it any further.
Exclamation point. You think it's a mix?
I think it's a mix. Because there is a level of that you can control, like you can control what you wear, what you drive, to a point on both sides. The jobs that you can get, that you're willing to get, and then you can't really. I think whatever you choose to do, there's never a guarantee for success, but there are things you can do to increase the probability, the percentage of your chances of success. Does that make
Success.
sense?
Success. I'm into success. just like excess, but with sucking. I wouldn't do the sucking. Well, I would suck a nipple. I've sucked many nipples. We've all sucked nipples,
It's
right?
good to suck a nipple.
Yeah, and it gets all hard in your mouth.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, it's like having a little pebble in your mouth.
And depending on the person, it's a nice little cheat code.
And then, have you ever told someone who's you're like licking their nipple, you're like, I wish I had a mouthful of your nipples.
No. You just want several nipples all in a cluster?
Yeah, I wish you had 10 nipples that I could suck on at once. It was the follow-up.
And then you find yourself in that situation. This nip sipped its last suck.
I think... I don't know what that means. We'll transition into duct infections, okay?
Nice!
Alan, predeterminism?
Just because there's so many other people influencing your day to day on different levels, like you said, there's probably only so much you can do, can't do. There's people in your life that are going to die no matter what. Whether it be healthcare related or lifestyle or some freak accident.
What
if
about-
they avoided a heart attack that was going to happen at 3 o'clock or at like 5 o'clock? Did they get is it because they got in an accident at 4 o'clock? Is it that kind of thing?
Well, what
Final
about
destination?
what about this? What if you decided just out of the blue, you're like, you know what? I'm selling all my shit and I'm moving to Europe. Seem like a good idea, or even Antarctica, or
And then it
fucking
goes
wherever.
horribly wrong, and then
No.
you're broke, and then you're back home.
No, you move away and you're happy, but it changes your destiny completely, and you're like, did I do that shit on my own, or was that always meant to happen? Type of thing. And then I guess you could break it down to what was the impetus behind that. Did that, and you could break it down into all the minutia of it, and be like, was it all started by this thing that I was like, woke up one day and was like, fuck it, I'm changing everything. Or was it just like all meant to happen, right?
I think
It's my thinking sound.
Which is very similar to Valsalva sound.
How do you think I think?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you think I think?
How do you think I think, therefore I am?
If I had to guess, I think it's a mix of all of it. I think if you're buried in shit, it's hard to dig your way out in terms of circumstance. Like if you're born in fucking Ghana or India, it's probably going to be pretty hard because there's so many people and such a disparity between rich and poor. And it's going to be a lot harder than if you're like born in America or Europe or someplace that's a little bit more well-to-do. It's going to be harder to dig yourself out from some third world country. So I guess you're kind of fucked in that way if you're born somewhere like that.
And you know what I think is a bigger tragedy is when you start in like a low place, whatever it is, and then you work your way out into like a better plane of existence. It's like you did it, but you never thought that making it out wouldn't really matter,
Yeah, because it's all. I mean,
because the hustle and bustle never stops.
well, also like Wallace Stevens said. Wallace Stevens, the poet, he said, "We all live in the mind."
Yeah.
That means it's whatever you make of it, right, Alan?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, I live in my head a lot.